Hey everybody, welcome into another video. Today is an ear training exercise and it's going to require you to sing. So get in the mindset, we're going to sing here. I know how much instrumentalists love singing, but I'm telling you, if you can really commit yourself to this, it is going to transfer over to your instrument like crazy. So we're going to be doing this exercise over the classic jazz standard, All the Things You Are. Let's dive right in. All right, so what we have on this sheet is pretty simple. We've got on the top line, the melody in its most simple form. And then on the bottom line, what we have is just the roots of every chord. So we have the root motion of the tune, just whole notes. And what this does is it creates this beautiful counterpoint between the roots of the chords and the melody. So it's basically the DNA of All the Things You Are in its most simple form. It removes all the complicated stuff that usually happens in jazz. You got a bass player, a drummer, you've got a piano player playing all these complicated voicings. We're just gonna strip all of that away and we're gonna observe how the melody lines up with the chord progression. All right, so before we take any action, what I want you to do is just listen. I want you to listen to the recording of the melody and the roots being played together so you could just get a frame of reference, wrap your ears around this. Then we're going to dive into the first assignment. So just listen this time. Okay, so you could hear it's very, very simple, right? And that's what we're going for. Okay, so your first assignment is you are going to sing the bottom line. You're going to sing the roots of every chord. And I'm going to use that same recording that I just played. And the cool part is that the piano is also playing the roots. So you do have a reference, okay? And your job is to just as accurately as you can sing those root notes as the recording plays. Okay, so here's your starting pitch. Sing that. La. Okay, so your job is to sing the roots. Your job is to sing the bottom line all the way through the form. Here we go. All right, how did you do? Well, we have timestamps. If you need to go back and do it again or 10 more times, just go ahead and do it. All right, now we're gonna reverse course. We are gonna sing the top line, the melody with the recording. So now we're singing the melody while we're hearing the roots. And again, you do have that reference in there. So if you ever feel like you're getting off, just listen to the top line of the recording. Okay, here's your starting pitch. Sing that. La. Okay, sing the melody this time through. Here we go. All right, how'd you do? You can always go back and do it again if you need to. I'm guessing that was actually probably easier for most of you than singing the root motion, because the melody is something that we've heard so many times, but the root motion is something that's a little trickier. Okay, you ready for the third assignment? Now we're gonna go through and we're gonna sing both parts at the same time. Here we go. Did I get you? But seriously, let's go through one more time, and I want you to choose whatever you had more trouble with, right? So if the roots really gave you trouble, do it this time. If the melody gave you more trouble, do that this time. One more time through. Here we go. Okay, so why is this beneficial? Because if you didn't do the exercise or you only did it once, you might be going, yeah, I'm not going to go out and crush it tonight at my gig over all the things you are just from doing this exercise. But if you do this a lot and you can really, really nail those pitches, your level of aural understanding of this tune will skyrocket. You'll be less tied to the page and looking at the chord symbols and figuring out what to play through intellect. You'll have to do that a lot less, and you could trust your ears a lot more. Like I said, this is kind of the DNA of this tune, the roots against the melody. So the more confident you are and the more familiar you are with the sound of those two things happening, and the more you can reflect it with your voice, just the more comfortable this tune is going to feel. Now, we've got a bunch of other levels of this too, right? So after you're really good at the two activities that we just did, you could pull out your instrument and you could play the roots, or you can play the melody. And this is a really great way to connect what you just sang to now your instrument. And that connection of being able to hear and sing and then being able to transfer that over to the instrument, that's huge. That's like the biggest skill in jazz, right? To be able to hear what you want to play and then have it come out the end of your instrument, your tool for expression. Now, we were singing with a recording that had both parts in it, right? But what if I were to give you a recording that only had the melody and said to you, hey, you have to sing the roots? Well, now it just became a lot harder, right? Because you have no reference recording. Now you have to sort of rely on yourself. And then the opposite, if I give you a recording that's only roots and ask you to sing the melody, now it's on you. And then sort of the final boss of this assignment is to actually sit at the piano and play one part while singing the other. And if you're not really good at piano, that probably strikes fear into your heart. But think about what a worthwhile exercise that would be, to be able to do that, right? And really, really just go slow, slow, slow until you can do something like sit down at the piano and play the roots and sing the melody. Bum, bum, ba, da, 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 da. Every jazz musician should be able to play at least a little bit of piano. This is actually a great way to get started. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nick, how do I get my hands on all those recordings? How do I keep working on this? Well, you're in luck, because I've just released my course, 5 Lessons on All the Things You Are. And this is the first lesson. So inside of that course, you get all those other recordings. You get the recording that I've been playing for you so that you can do it over and over and over again. You get the sheet so that you can download it, mark it up, whatever you want to do. You know, I think the biggest way I've gotten better over my 20 plus years of playing jazz is to just take a tune, take a jazz standard like this, and try to approach it from as many ways as possible. Try to think about as many paths into a tune like this as I can possibly muster. And this is what I work on with my students as well. We use a jazz standard to practice all these big jazz concepts that are going to make us better in general, but we use the tune as a vehicle. And in this course, 5 Lessons on All the Things You Are, you get a whole bunch of really cool approaches to the tune. And my hope is that you will find 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe even all 5 that really, really resonate with you. And then once you get done working on the stuff that I'm giving you, you run with it. And you really start to feel your skills just growing and growing and growing. So in this course, of course, you get this ear training assignment. You also get a couple assignments on chord tone soloing. You get a couple of rhythmic assignments. You get a lesson on using this actual tune to increase your technique, to practice your scales and your arpeggios, but doing so in kind of a fun way, and getting deeper with the sound of this tune. All of that and even more with backing tracks, trading tracks, practice tracks, everything you need to really dive deep on this standard, all for less than the price of a half an hour lesson. And you know, if you're somebody that watches this channel and gets something out of it on a regular basis, buying 1, 2, 3, 10 courses from us a year, that can really, really help this channel keep putting out this free information. And in return, you get like a ton of practice materials. So the link will be in the description below. And if you choose to purchase that course, thank you in advance, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, let's finish out the video one more time through this recording. You choose whether you want to do the roots or the melody, and then I will see you on the next video. Thanks everybody. Have a good one. Bye.